What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, and a stimulus check update. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. I will keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country. Also, thanks so much for hitting the like button for us down below. It really helps out our YouTube channel. Several different things to talk about here today. We have a plan from the Republicans for up to $4,200 per year, and several different states here providing new relief here that we'll go over here as well in this video. I've been trying to keep you guys updated with everything. Remember that all these states have billions and billions of dollars from the last stimulus package. And it seems like one by one, they're all trying to, maybe trying to give money back to their residents, cut taxes, give out stimulus checks or tax rebate checks or gas inflation checks, pause gas taxes in their states. Each state's kind of doing something a little bit different. Really just depends on what your state is doing, but I'm trying to keep you up to date on here each state and what the federal government is doing, what Congress is doing, and everything going on here in our country. So let's jump right in. We got a lot to cover. Okay, first up, Republican Senator Mitt Romney introduces a new plan to send most parents up to $350 per month per kid. Most parents, there's a varying amount here, and it says up to $350 per month per kid. That would be $4,200 per year. I'll show you the details of this. There's several different caveats of this plan, also known as the child tax credits. And Democrats are not going to like a lot of plans with this bill. Okay. There was thought that Republicans and Democrats could maybe come together and pass a bipartisan child tax credit bill, possibly before the election. There's also I don't know if that's going to happen. I'll show you the details of this now, and then I'll give you my thoughts, and then we'll go from that. Remember that last year the Democrats passed the child tax credits on their own through the Build Back Better package without any Republican votes, and that increased the child tax credits from $2,000 per child to $3,000 per child for children over the age of 6 through 17, and $3,600 per child for children under the age of 6. So it made a big increase because it went from $2,000 per child to $3,000. So, $1,000 more per child, or 50% increase, or from $2,000 per child to $3,600 per child if your child was under the age of 6, which is like a 70% increase. And it made it come out in monthly payments as well, at least for the second half of last year. Okay. The problem is that they only passed it for 1 year, and now it's been stalled, and we don't know if they're going to be able to pass it. Half the year's already gone by, and they have not been able to pass it yet again. So, yeah. And meanwhile, studies have already shown by independent like universities and stuff that millions of children have fallen back into poverty because they're no longer getting those monthly checks. And the other problem is that I'll show you this plan from the Republicans here, which has a lot of caveats, and you guys can let me know your thoughts if you think this is good or bad. But because the monthly checks have already not gone out to a lot of low income children and families, they've already slipped back into poverty. Studies already show this, universities already show this, and we're talking about millions of children, millions of children. Last study showed like 5 million children had already slipped back into poverty. So even just something simple like $250, $300 a month is enough to feed a child. So you take that away from a child, and then now that might not even, that might be the difference between having money for food and not, or having money for rent and not, being kicked out of your apartment and not. So this is a major big deal for, it's like over 60 million children, 40 some million families. So this is a major, major deal. And here's the Republicans' plan here. Romney introduced a new version of his proposal on Wednesday that would issue up to $350 monthly checks per kid. $350 per month is a total of $4,200 per year to most American families in an effort to revive interest in Congress for a cash payment program during a stretch of painful inflation. The updated measure would provide $350 direct payments each month for most parents with children under the age of 5 and under $4,200 annually, while also issuing $250 to families with kids ages 6 to 17, which would be $3,000 per year, which was the same amount that it was before. He says, quote, "We must do better to help families meet the challenges they face as they take on the most important work any of us will ever do, raising our society's children." This proposal proves that we can accomplish this without adding to the deficit or creating other new federal program without any reforms. However, this is where there's several caveats as opposed to the Democrats' program they passed last year. Households would only qualify for the full cash benefit if they earned at least $10,000 every year. This amount would be indexed to inflation, so it would actually go up, meaning that families making less than $10,000 would receive a proportional share of the total benefit based on how close they are to that income target. And I know this because I read more about it. If the family, the mom or dad, both don't work, for whatever reason, they're disabled or they're on Social Security, if grandma and grandpa claims the child and raises them, which there's probably millions of that do, they would not get the child tax credits for the child. Okay, so if the parents are on disability, if they don't work, any type of situation here, if the parents make below $2,500 a year or have no income, they would not get the child tax credits, which is very different than the bill that was passed last year by the Democrats. So basically, it's excluding a lot of low income people or anybody on Social Security that's raising a child that doesn't have other income, because Social Security does not count as earned income. Yeah, you can see here that this would shut out the poorest 6% of households from getting these checks under the Romney program, according to data from the Census Bureau, which is nonpartisan. It's a break from Romney's earlier plan that would have provided checks to families who earn no taxable income. Romney said, "The feedback I got from people outside the government and inside the government is you have to have some connection to work. People need to be participating in the workplace. But I mean, if you're disabled or if you're on Social Security, if you've already worked and you're raising a grandchild for whatever reason, it's not necessarily so easy." And this is kind of something I've come to learn with having this channel and reading through thousands and thousands of comments. Can't put everybody inside a perfect box. Not everybody can just go to work. So you can let me know your thoughts in the comments. I get the ideals. Everybody, I get it. But you let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Also, the other thing about this plan is that Mitt Romney calls it a net zero plan, meaning that it's going to be fully paid for, but it's going to be paid for by cutting money from other programs. Okay, so yeah, they're just kind of basically shifting money from one place to the other. Here's kind of what this means. Romney unveiled the plan along with Senator Richard Burr of North Carolina and Senator Daines of Montana. It would be paid for by modifying other federal programs like the Earned Income Tax Credit, which is also known as the Adult Tax Credit, and eliminating a federal tax rate for state and local taxes commonly used by wealthier Americans, known as the SALT tax. state and local taxes. Um, Scott Winship, a director of poverty studies at the right leaning American Institute, wrote on Twitter that the measure would reduce poverty and achieve conservative goals of stronger work and marriage incentives. All right. Analysts released Wednesday from policy analysts Jacob McCabe and Robert Orr at the Niskanen Center indicated that the Romney proposal would slash child poverty by roughly 13%. And the reason for this would be simply just because they're sending out the child tax credits again. Even though potentially a lot of people could be or would be excluded, simply sending the checks out to the people that do get them would reduce child poverty. So there is that. But for the people who aren't going to qualify, well, they're not going to get anything. You know, this is, you can let me know your thoughts. Now, the thing about this is that Democrats won't go for this bill. There's just too many things in there that Democrats won't agree with. The work requirement, getting rid of this state and local tax deduction, multiple different things in there. However, though, it is good to see both Republicans and Democrats both having their own plans for the child tax credits. Because again, I'm for helping as many people as possible: children, seniors, people on Social Security, people that are just low income, people that fall into all the groups that need help. I fully agree that there's so many people right now that need help. Children especially, they can't work. So and really when it comes to child poverty, it's one of those things that if you could solve hunger in the world, it's especially childhood hunger. This is something the government could do, and they actually had a really good start to it last year with those checks. And really, the checks aren't like, you know, something that could make people rich. I think the Mitt Romney plan actually has a limit on it. Oh, and here's the other thing. This is directly from Mitt Romney's senator page. It says this bill would promote families and marriage. I mean, if people want to get married, you should let them. Sounds a little weird to me. I mean, I'm married, but I don't want to like force marriage upon people. The reason for this is that it says that this bill, the Family Security Act, is pro-work, pro-marriage, and pro-life, the sequel to welfare reform for the 21st century. So he's definitely getting very political here, which, I mean, he's a politician. He says we should do everything we can to support individuals who wish to marry, which often leads to the most stable homes for children. That's why our plan removes existing marriage penalties in the earned income tax credit and head of household filing status. It said it removes existing marriage penalties in the earned income tax credit and head of household filing status, which increases taxes on single moms, particularly those that are low income, should they choose to get married. We treat a household that chooses to have one stay-at-home parent the exact same as one with both working parents, which further empowers families to decide what works best for them. Okay, yeah, Romney's bill would cap the number of children for whom benefits are paid at 6. So you would not be able to get child tax credits for more than 6 children. Parents could choose to receive the money monthly or as an annual lump sum. Also, parents would need to have a Social Security number and not an ITIN number to be able to get these payments. Mitt Romney says for families that aren't now working, we're setting a really attainable target to get that maximum benefit. Also, this bill could pay payments to a mother when she's pregnant as well. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. But as of right now, it does not look like Democrats would support it. there would have to be some compromise, which could happen. Which could happen. I will keep you up to date here on this, but it is good to see that Republicans and Democrats are now coming forward with bills on the child tax credits as opposed to just letting more and more children slip into poverty, which is actually happening every day, that the child tax credits don't get passed. So let me know your thoughts. Meanwhile, multiple different states are passing their own kind of stimulus packages, which does include child tax credits on state levels. You can see here, New Jersey lawmakers just okayed a $2 billion property tax rebates package, which includes property tax rebates, which are checks, as well as child tax credits and a bunch of different stuff here. Yeah, New Jersey lawmakers approved a $50 billion budget Wednesday that would offer $2 billion in property tax rebates to 2 million homeowners and renters. 2 million homeowners and renters, and a child tax credit. Yeah, so this property tax and renters will get a tax break worth up to $1,500. Yeah, and this comes thanks to flush state coffers. Yeah, states have a lot of money right now. And lowering the roughly $9,300 average property tax bill for many to $7,800, a level not seen in more than a decade, Governor Phil Murphy said. And they said part of their deal includes an agreement to continue the program in the future, meaning it won't offer relief for only a single year. But it is unclear how long the program would continue at this point. Under the deal announced on Wednesday, 870,000 families that make up the up to $150,000 would get, quote, direct relief of $1,500. Those earning from 150,000 to 250,000 will get $1,000 in relief. And for the first time ever, according to Murphy, renters will also get assistance. Those making up to 150,000 will get $450 in assistance. It also boosts how much aid residents will get from up to $700 previously to $1,500 for the plurality of covered property tax payers. He estimated the agreement would affect 2 million households, more than 5 million of the state's over 9 million residents. Republican lawmakers who regularly advocate for slashing property taxes are not enthusiastic about the plan or the leader's commitment to keep it going in the years to come. Taxes are typically addressed in the annual budget every year, meaning if the state's fortune changes, the property tax program could be axed. Yeah, I mean, I understand that in the future. I get that. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll be covering more states here in upcoming episodes. So make sure you subscribe down below to our YouTube channel if you haven't yet. It's completely free to do so. And then click the bell icon that appears after you click subscribe so you get notifications when we go live with new videos. I will keep you up to date here with everything. You can click here next to watch my new video about checks that are going out to millions of people here in July. And if you or anybody you know has student loans, click on this video because there's billions of dollars that were just forgiven. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.